Well, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Welcome back to Living Single with Carm and Tosh. I'm Carm.
I'm Tasha. How are you?
We're good, we're good. And we are two single women, besties living the single life, and we come to bring you our stories and our things that have happened to us and to share and to find out what it is it's going to take for us to find our next loves. And so we're both in search for our next loves, and this is what we do. Um,
We do our weekly
Tashi,
talks.
yep. So this week is episode 2 of What Do We Want?
So episode 2 is going to be, is it our high standards versus compromise? That's what we're going to talk about today. Is our standards too high? Can we compromise? Well, let's see. Let's talk about it. Let's see where
Yep.
it gets us.
Crazy because I mean, we're mature, we're older, we're been there, done that, been married and all that. So we know what we want when we looking for the mate. I know what I want. I'm not gonna just, I know what I want. And so um it's kind of interesting now that I'm out here really, really trying to find somebody. Before I wasn't. I was just trying to get myself back together, from a divorce, financially and all that.
Yeah.
But now that I've got my shit together and I'm trying to find somebody, it's like, what the hell? Where are they? But I know that I got my standards and I have my must haves. I don't know about you, but I do know about you because I know I ain't going to do this and I ain't going to do that. We have our must haves. What are your must haves, Tasha? What do you tell somebody before you even accept an invite or take a phone call or even respond? What are you saying? What are you telling them?
So before I even respond, that kind of thing. So, I mean, I just straight out when they started asking, most of the time they want us to exchange phone numbers from the start. I'm not doing it. We're going to communicate a few minutes here and let me see if I'm even interested in you, because if I'm not, we're not exchanging numbers and no reason you have mine. But communication is number one on my list. It is, the key. For me, I'm looking for, that
How you
friendship.
gonna know if they gonna communicate up front?
No, 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 no. Oh, you're talking about like from the very start, like from hello and
Yeah.
everything. I mean, I will chat
You
with
wanna
almost
up
anyone.
front
That's
when
the
you see
crazy thing with
somebody.
me. I
What
will
if
literally chat with anyone. So that's the crazy part with me is
well,
I
see,
will
I
literally
won't. I'm
see.
a
I
must
will.
have.
I
I
will
got
start.
I got my must haves. You
See,
you
now
can
I will start chatting with anyone that says hello, except for, wait a minute, there's some that, like, if I'm not attracted to them, I have to be physically attracted to you.
okay, so you do have must have. So you
I
ain't just
do.
talking no
And, and,
anybody.
and like, I'm looking for, like, I'm gonna be honest, if it's a white guy, I'm not even looking at you. I'm just passing you on by. Every other race, I am checking your profile out because I want to see what you're about. I done had a white guy. I don't want him no more. I done been married to one. It just didn't work. So I'm moving on.
Yeah,
So my must have, you
now we
must
ain't
not
been down
be.
there done that with that conversation, and we are besties. But I understand
We
you
are
are
not going
adamant
there.
about
So my my,
that.
my preference is a tall, dark, bald, handsome man. That's what I want.
Okay. So then you have a must have right there. So
That is a
that is
must
a
have.
you putting your man in a box. Okay. So I mean you got a box. So are your standards too high? So when I mean, and it's crazy. I was talking to someone that I dated 20 something years ago. And he asked me if I still have my 5 must-haves when I talk to someone, and I told him yes, I do. I still have. There's 5 things that I won't even communicate with you, or I look at, or even the first communications, I've got to determine whether you have that, and that is style. When I look at you, I'm one of those. I'm a woman with style. I like clothes. I like to look good and all that shit, and I like my man to look good. And I think clothes make the man, and you got to have the right kind of shoes and you got to have your shit put together. Now, you ain't got to be dressed to the nines or, getting ready to go out to the club all the time. But whatever your look is, you got to have a look. You got to have that style to
Yeah,
it.
and you
And
can't
I'm
just
not
be a
a, I'm
slouch.
not a look person. You ain't got to be handsome because it's not a handsome thing because I think handsome is more than just the face. I think it's
Me
your
too.
and my other thing is you got to be an OG. You got to be an OG. And if you don't know what being an OG means, then you can't even talk to me because it's your communication style, it's your swag, it's your
Everything about you. the
I
way-
mean, but see, I'm an OG black one, so I want an OG black man. I don't even want these younger men. They don't even know what that is, and I'm used to the old school way where. And I want an old school man because that's only because it just doesn't work with these young ones and these ones that think these 60 some odd year old men that's still trying to act like they 40. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Anyway,
I want a man that's got his
you
shit
gotta,
together.
and
He
you
has
gotta
to have
have
it together.
humor, and you gotta have humor, and
Right.
personality, and all of that. And then you've got to be emotionally available. I can tell you right off, if you're emotionally available, then I won't be. And then my last thing is you've got to have something with you. I'm too old. Like I said, we've already established that I'm 60. And these men that I'm talking to are 62, 64, 66. And if you 66 and I say, well, what do you do? And you say, well, I'm working at the no.
Look,
By the
I am
time
a
you're
recruit.
60,
Wait, Carm. Here's
Um,
the good one. Wait a minute. Here's the best one. I'm a recruiting manager. And as soon as they say, well, what do you do for a living?
they
I'm
want
a
your
recruiting
job.
manager. They're like, oh, could you get me a job? Oh,
No.
goodbye.
Well, see,
Bye.
I've been in HR for 35 years, and I don't tell when I am, especially on dating profiles and stuff, I never say what I do. I don't ever put that on there
No,
because
it's not on there, but like,
because
if they ask me
I don't
what
even
my
tell them.
career is, I'm
I
not telling them.
I don't tell people what I'm doing, what my career is until I'm interested. I'll say I work at a
Oh,
blah,
no,
blah,
like,
blah,
I don't
blah,
care
blah.
I don't care. They know, because from the start, when
I
you
don't
start
want them to
asking
know
for a
because
job,
them doper smokers already start calculating your income.
right,
They
and
already start
that's the one
calculating
that
your
you just
income.
go ahead and you just move on from, you don't talk to, like
But-
we're putting
but
that
I
out there in the beginning. Whoop, no, goodbye. No,
But
ain't
okay, but here we go. We got all these standards. I'm looking at because
well, that's
as
one
far as
standard I
I'm
can't
concerned,
lower.
But see, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not talking about just having a career. If you are 60 some odd years old and you're a man and you call yourself single, then you should at least have some sort of
Income.
inside. Now, I'm not even talking about on damn income. You should be situated.
Oh, true.
by
Yes.
your age,
You shouldn't be living with mama.
No, yeah,
And-
no. That's
Unless mama, you're taking care of mama because mama's sick.
now. I
That's a
got a
different
lot of
story.
really mamas, and because of men my age, there are some that live with, or the moms live with them because they do.
Right,
take
but
care
that's
of
a
them.
different story when they're having to take care of them and help them, but not because you ain't got your life together.
But
No,
see,
no.
Yeah, and
You
see,
gotta
you're
have your
dealing
shit
with-
together.
And see, we're dealing with two different age groups. See, you're still in that dealing with them younger ones, and I don't.
Well, I get them from 30 to 50s, well, 60s too, that like literally, that's the
Well,
age.
all the 60s are tired. They talk to y'all because most 60-year-old men don't want
And
to.
I'm not interested because I want them
Well,
more in their 50s. I don't
no,
want them my age. I don't want them younger. I prefer in their 50s.
I'm telling you,
That's my
60-year-old
preference.
Most
But
60-year-old
they don't
men-
act right either.
Well, most 60-year-old men don't want 60-year-old women. They want your age. That's what they do. They will have it specifically in their profiles. If you're they will have. I'm looking for a woman in her from 42 to 51. I mean,
But
you
my
67.
thing is, don't you want someone to match your energy where like this person, like I don't want somebody that is retired because I'm not retired. I want someone.
I can do a retire.
Right. See, but I can't because I don't
'Cause
have
I'm
time
older.
for a
I'm
retired
getting
man
ready to
because
retire.
I'm a very busy woman. So my partner needs to be equally busy because I don't have time to give him 100%
Okay.
of me.
Well, see, but you got all these things. So are you too picky? Is that why you're still single?
That's why I'm single, I think.
Hello, this is the subject of the matter, and we discussed it. The discussion is, are all these high standards? And the problem is, and when you are a type A personality and a leader and a go-getter and a aggressive, and that's the kind of jobs I've always had. That's the kind of person and the woman I've had to be. So it's kind of hard to lower your standards when you have high standards for yourself. Like,
Right.
I have such a high standards for myself that I expect that other person to have those standards now. But is that just me? Everybody doesn't, maybe. I can compromise on a couple of these things that I gotta have, you know, like the.
So
OG,
I think I could
mean,
probably.
OG, do I need a
What
coach?
is something, wait a minute, what is something that you could compromise on? I only think I have on my list, I think I only have one.
I got two things. I already thought about it.
Okay, so what's your
First
two
off,
things?
the style. I mean,
Okay.
because I look at a man, I'll look at, I don't even respond to a man who has a baseball cap on, who has a t-shirt on. Because at my age, at a 60-year-old man, you should be able to have a shirt on and not a damn. Now, some of your pictures can be casual. I'm not saying that. But if all you got is something with the baseball cap, no, that ain't even my style. So, you know, I can maybe, there could be potential. There could be a connection personality-wise and or soul-wise if you don't look at the outside. And that's where I look
True,
first.
that is true.
Granted, you got to be physically attracted to someone, and like the chemistry is important for me. But yeah,
I'm okay with the baseball cap, but like you said, it goes back to the age thing too.
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that.
Right.
Shit. I ain't gonna have no yoga pants on when you see me looking crazy, because I'm gonna be dressed because that's how I am.
Well, that's true too.
I want someone like that. And the other thing that I can compromise on is the OG. I have this certain type of man that I'm attracted to, that I attract, that I, you know, because I can go, you know, it's got that swag and all that. There are other potentials, and I could go out. Number one, I could go outside my race. I could, because there's some white boys that be trying to hit me up. And, you know, I could actually start seeing if those are potentials, because we could be matching personality and spirit and vibe and everything, and activities and everything else. And if you let go of some of that, those are the two things that I could probably, the most things that I could probably kind of compromise on the mustache. The one things that I will not compromise on is your emotional availability.
Right, true.
You must be emotionally available, because I am. And I don't want someone, because these jokers you be meeting, they be still attracted to the wife, the ex-wife. I mean, let's face it.
You gotta let go.
You know, we're gonna discuss that in a minute, but we are that, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, what the heck? You've got to be emotionally available. And men, if you're out there listening to us, you know, that's very important.
That's important.
And a woman can sense it, and you can sense it when they are and when they are not. And the other thing that I will not compromise is you got to have your shit together, because at 60 some odd years old, you shouldn't be going, well, I'm still trying to get my VA, and, you know, and I don't have a car yet because, you know, no.
And it shouldn't be that way in your 40s and 50s either.
I'm paying for my joint.
You know, look,
you have to pay for your joint as well. We maybe can have a nice joint together, but
together. Let's build that empire together. Not like I'm not supporting nobody. I want my equal, and this is my thing. Now, you want to know something? I tell every person, almost anybody that's ever talked to me. There's probably thousands of men that's talked to me over the years. Okay, thousands. Come on, I'm not even joking. I've been on some sites and I've just talked to everybody, but they have to. I'm looking for my equal. I don't want somebody that's gonna walk in front of me and try to tell me what the hell to think. They think they're gonna tell me what to do. I don't want you behind me. You better walk beside me and let's build this together. Because if not, then we just can't be together. And that's just how I feel. You know.
But see, I
don't want a man that thinks he's controlling and it's all his money, and you're gonna tell me what to do, and then I'm gonna sit back there and do it. Not happening with this woman.
You know what though, and I promise you, and this is where some of the things, and we're going to talk about this on our next episode, is doing some of the self-work, because this just actually looking for a mate, you got to look in the mirror. And as I look in the mirror, some of the things that I know I need to do is soften up. I need to bring more of my feminine side back to me.
Yeah, I need to do that
very
too.
feminine. I got the nails, but I'm hardcore because I'm out there in corporate America and I'm fighting that cover your ass bullshit every day. So it kind of makes me very rough on the outside, because it's like I got to go to.
You've been done though that way over and over.
And sometimes. And in the morning though, I'm putting my makeup on. That's my war paint almost, where I'm like, I've got to go out here and as a black woman, an intelligent black woman, fight the battle because these motherfuckers trying to make you feel like you stupid. And then I'm the smartest person in the room half the time. So it's like, ugh. So I need to let that go. We let that go when it comes to that communication, that I need to soften that up, because I was a feminine woman in my marriages, because I had those kind of men that were, they were men and they were, I didn't have to worry about money and all that. So they allowed me to be feminine. And then I'm the one, both of my marriages, I will have to say, our disclaimer, that I left. I wasn't put out, neither one of them, I left. And so I decided I wanted this and that. So I chose this life. But that doesn't mean that this is who I am really at the core. So, and I've been doing, as you know, and I don't have to give my personal business, I'm doing some self-reflecting anyway. So I'm learning some more things about myself as, this evolution in life is like, what the hell? Can't you just get one place and situate? No, you have to change. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at myself, really, I am. And some of these must-haves, I may have to do some compromising because, but when physical touch is your number one love language, you might want to be attractive and I got to be attracted to you, because if I ain't attracted to you, so I got to learn how to open my eyes to what attractive is, because white boy can have this swag, and white boys with the little salt and pepper, and they got the swag. I might be able to hang with one of them. So, white boys, are you watching? Because I'm telling you, I'm on the prowl.
She's on the prowl. Look, ain't that crazy? She's looking for her white boy right now. And of course, she knows
I'm looking for a heart.
Heart, that's it.
For a shell. I'm looking for
your partner.
And the outer shell, I might have to compromise on, but it's very hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
So
I think the only one though that I could compromise is on their appearance. I think that I could overlook that. It's not always about the appearance, it's what's on the inside. But that is going to be a hard one, because the first thing I am looking at, if I'm literally, when I'm on those dating sites and I'm scrolling through, like especially on like Facebook dating, soon as if I'm not attracted to you, I don't even read nothing. I just hit, you're going left. And then so I have to, it's that physical attraction from the start.
And sometimes I swipe too bad.
And then I accidentally swipe and you go the wrong way. And then they start sending you messages and you're like, ugh.
But no. what about when you swipe the wrong way and you go, oh shoot, I should have went back to him, because Facebook will let you go.
Then I will go back and look at some of them.
Facebook will let you go back. Facebook, black people meet is kind of the same. It's just like, some of them.
I've been talking about going on a different one, but I hadn't done it yet. So right now, I have in the past, but
I can say my intentions are strong.
Right now.
My intentions are really there. My intention is to find that mate, and I'm going to do what it takes to find that mate. And who knows, I'm going to let the universe actually help me. But I know you can say what you want, but if you don't do any action toward it with anything, whether it's relationships, love, business, whatever, if you don't start doing the action, you're not going to get any progress. So this is my idea. One of our ideas is do this, share our stories with you, the public, and the other is to actually do the work and report on the work. So I don't know. The compromise idea, I just don't know about. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see
if I am good at compromise, but I'm going to try, because we are in our episodes, and our next episode, we're going to discuss our self-work, what it is we feel that we need to do to get that love, get that partner, because it's not and I will disclaimer again, I'm married twice, and I was not the innocent, I'm not the victim. And that's the other thing that, I didn't leave and I wasn't a victim. So that means I participated in something.
I see, this is going to be interesting.
And I'm a good participator in the drama. So this time,
here's going to be the cool thing, though. in the upcoming episodes when we talk about that, because you weren't
Self-work.
the victim, I was the victim. So there is a difference of how our relationships ended. I was victim. I mean, I wasn't the innocent party 100%, but I was not the cause of either relationship to end. So.
Well, well, okay, we can talk about that on self-work day right now. But like I said, the compromising, I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. We're going to work on it because I am going to work. And so I think what I'm going to do this in the next week, and I'm going to change some of my strategies. I'm going to actually not look at those 5 must-haves, at least the physical portion of it, and kind of read profiles and say, And if someone reaches out to me that I don't necessarily think that I would, I'm going, I'm gonna see what they're talking about. Maybe their conversation, maybe their personality, maybe that will attract me as well. Because sometimes you can have some freaking fine ass and got all the packaging and OG, but the rest of it is you ain't got a damn conversation. Those are stupid too. The ones that ain't got no conversation.
No conversation, or they don't have no common sense.
They don't want to do nothing. All they want to do is to add names to their numbers. And so, and it's not like you're not wanting to do that with others, but we're going to try. We're going to see what happens. So I'm going to try and do that. Well, how about you? What you going to do? You going to do that too? No, I know you. I ain't going to do this.
No, so like this week, I didn't really do much dating and talking to a whole lot of people because I had some things going on, but that's okay because next week is a different story.
So you're going to give us some of your compromises? You're going to compromise something on what you see out, but you don't, like I said, you are, see, Tasha wild. I ain't wild. I'm normal. I'm picky. I don't,
I'm very picky now, that.
I just don't be talking to anybody.
But I will befriend everybody. I am that person that will talk to everybody.
Don't befriend no goddamn. If you.
Then when I start talking to somebody and I'm interested in them, then all the friends got to go because I ain't got time for you.
No. See, I talk to multiples. I'm a
serial. I'll be your pen pal. I'll be your chat buddy. We'll talk about it. Tell me your problem. I'll tell you mine. And I don't want nobody down the road. Like I got a guy, he would be the amazing guy, but he may be catfishing too, right? So we're gonna talk about it here in a little bit, but he could be possibly catfishing. I don't know, but he's all the way in Mississippi. I don't want somebody in Mississippi. If he's real, he's in Mississippi. But if he's not, he's around the corner. But he's a catfish.
I don't be dealing with, and see that shit I don't be dealing with, he'd be blocked. No. I don't play because I'm so busy that
I'm so busy trying to figure out if it's true or not.
Time because I have a full-time job where I'm working 60 hours, 10-hour, 12-hour work days. Then I'm building my own a real business, a business with all that crap involved, which is good because launching that here shortly. And then with the building this time to actually physically try to go and try to prepare and get ready.
Dating's not easy.
I'm changing my home. I'm building my home for 2. Like I said, when I bought a bedroom set, I bought 2 nightstands. I actually, whatever I do, I'm buying 2 because I live by myself, so I don't need but one thing of each, and I'm actually upgrading and changing because my
you're building for 2, and I'm getting rid of things so that I feel like I'm going to. I don't want to build for 2 without that partner, so I'm getting rid of things so that I have room. I'm making room for him. I'm making room, either it's in my house or his house. But
I ain't talking about a home like permanent, but you've got to have, before you decide to move in with someone, I needed to have my place so that someone could even spend the night.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm set up for one person. I've lived alone for 5 years now almost. So I had a queen size bed. I had 1 nightstand. I bought I could buy one of anything. So now I have to redo this, and because I've lived with a man for 28 years of my life, that now, then when I didn't, it's like, ooh, I'm by myself. My room, if you notice, all the pink, my bedroom looks like a Pepto-Bismol room. So I've now tried it. I bought some black pillowcases last week.
So what color do you do in your room?
I don't know, but it's got to change from.
See, mine's red and black, and
extreme.
I want to
No.
change it.
Mine is extremely feminine though. I mean, which I did when I've been living by especially when I was able to do my own shit. I was like, oh, I ain't got no man. I can do all pink. So everything in my room is pink. You know, my bedspread, my sheets, my
I think I want to do mine pink, but then I would be by myself again.
No, but see, that's why, that's not welcoming to a man.
But you know what my room looks like. I need to change it.
Well, yeah, but it's still, you got a king size bed. I have a queen size bed that I use up the whole bed. So when I did when I did have an opportunity to have a guest, we close up in this bed. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I got to change things like that and be ready for two people. Cause I don't have a lot of life that was ready for two. I mean, moving into my new place, I have two.
And they better have room for me too, because I'm not one of those. Look, I was seeing somebody who would come up with 100 excuses in the beginning why I couldn't come over to their place. No, I better if you are good enough to come to mine, I better be good enough to come to yours too.
There you go, talking about that. There you go. That I better be. I'm talking about. No,
I better be. If they can come to mine, then I better be good enough to come to theirs.
That's true. That's true. I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about that. I got to get me ready for somebody to even come to me because I'm not set up for that. So like I said, those are the things that I know that in my self-work, but I'm talking about next week, but that I have to do because if you say you want somebody, then I don't even think about nobody else. I am so alone that I don't even pick up the phone to call people if I don't have
Me
to.
neither.
I mean, but till you have family around, I don't have, and like I said, if it ain't work, I'm by myself. So
that's true, but here's the thing: you can have family around and still be alone, and that's exactly what
I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about physically alone, where I can buy one piece of paper, one roll of toilet paper, one washcloth.
Well, true, and I can't do that.
And I don't have to share shit.
Right.
And I've gotten because I've been by myself for so long, I ain't had to share shit.
Right. So yeah. No, I don't have that. No.
Yeah, and I don't have that. And coming from that environment and then coming to this, and then I'm like, damn. So I've got to change. So, I'm gonna talk about that in the future. But like I said, these high standards.
Maybe why we are single.
Maybe.
We got to change those.
We're gonna
things.
work
on it.
And I hope you've enjoyed some of this batter, but yeah, we kind of get into it because I'm sorry that I went on about that because that's actually next week's episode is working on ourselves, self-work. What are we gonna do for ourselves to make ourselves ready? And I've named a couple of things, but I've got other things too. But my life is in turmoil. I mean, I got so much going on and I'm so busy, and that's one of the things I've got to do is less busy. Or I want to be, open myself up to somebody. So
I know I got to start learning how to make myself more available because you know what? I always talk about, I want that quality time, but I'm quick to say, well, I don't have time today. I can't do it today. Well, let's do it tomorrow. I never am. Let's go do it now. I'm never, when they say something about now, I'm like, oh, what? No. So I got to learn to.
That was one of the things with the hair. That was one of the things, the reason why I cut my hair, because it's easy and it's fast to go. So I'm ready. So if a brother called me up and say, hey, babe, you want to go have some drinks? I'm like, okay, give me 20 minutes. And I take a shower and 10 and makeup gone. No, joking. But I'm on the prowl. So, and it is now. Yeah. We already said our cold front is gone out here. So it's cold here, but what's
your weather today? Rub it in.
It's only gonna be like 40, 50 something today.
Oh wow, we're 52 right now.
It's cold. It froze last night. It got down to 37.
But really?
It's cold.
Wow.
But guess what? That was just short term. We'd be up to by Wednesday 74, 77, 75.
Well, look at you. Go ahead, rub it in. I have not a clue.
So I'm back. We back. I'll be at the beach next weekend probably.
I just know it's 52 today.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's so since we know what we're gonna do next week, let's look at our weekly updates on our dating updates of the week.
Yeah.
Dating updates. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up I got Facebook dating. Okay, so I get this fool. I'm gonna tell you this Facebook fool, this Facebook dating fool, this fool, and I ain't gonna say a fool. I'm sorry, you're not a fool. Whoever, if you're listening. But this guy, when he messaged me on Facebook dating and said, like a fresh, and I looked at him, I said, damn, he looked for me, but me, I serial date at times. Normally, how are you this evening? I'm good, blah, blah, blah. I was out and about. So, and then we started going back and forth. Just got back from Denver. I said, oh, I just got back from Vegas. He sent me a copy of his Facebook profile, sent me a copy of his Instagram profile. And then I said, oh, nice profile, blah, 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 blah. He says, I would love to chat with you on the phone. And so we exchanged numbers. He has a Denver number. I have a Las Vegas number. So, I was like, okay, cool. So, well, first off, I didn't hear from him one day. And then the next day I said, well, I do give everybody complimentary courtesy text. If we exchange numbers, I give you a courtesy text. Hi, this is Carmelita from Facebook. Just thought I'd reach out.
You're right. Yeah.
Then I open the door. Then you
I do that too.
I called him a courtesy text. I gave him a courtesy text. He responded back. And I said, when I open, you know how you got to love them damn iPhones, because an iPhone will save a freaking message for 17,
forever.
20 years, girl. I don't even want to tell you how many messages I was scrolling backwards to look at last night from a certain person. But anyway, I saved messages. So I put his number in. It said his name. I said, what name? I know. So then I open up, we have a little short text thing going on, and we must have talked. And then poof, disappeared. So I text him and I say, hey, we must have talked before, because I have previous text message from you. So he hurry up and call me. So then we call. And so we get to talking, and he was like, oh, I'm interested in you, and you beautiful and all that good stuff. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then we got to talking, and then he's going to tell me that he actually doesn't really live in Tampa. He lives in Denver, kind of. He goes back and forth to Denver. Like, he works for the federal government, and he was a military brat, and he lived all over the world. And then I'm okay with that. And then he goes to tell me about all the stuff that his people and his kids and all the things that they do all the world. And I was like, okay, I can tell you what me and my people's doing. And my son does this, and my niece does this. My niece in South Africa. I got a plenty of people all over the world as well. And I said, isn't that great how these young people are really taking what we've given them and expanded their lives? So he had to say, then he's going to tell me, we're going to talk about getting together and what we like to do. And we actually had similar interests. He lives in Florida just for the beach. Me too. His favorite thing to do is go to the beach and have drinks and listen to music. Hey, so I'm thinking, and actually, I think we were talking about
right up your alley.
Potential. So then, here where it comes crazy. He tells me that we talked about New Year's Eve, and I told him I spent New Year's Eve with you, my bestie, and my sister, and we hung out, we had ball and all that in Las Vegas, and he was in Denver with his ex-wife and her mother, because her mother was in the nursing home, and he didn't want his ex-wife to spend the New Year in their nursing home along with the mama. And then I'm like, okay. So I can kind of understand that, because me and my ex were separated. His father passed away, and I played the sister, my daughter-in-law, and was there by his side and all that, but I'm kind of okay. So then he says he has to go back he stays in Denver every 45 days. And he goes back to Denver, and he's in Denver. So he has dual status. He still has his Colorado credentials. I'm like, okay. So then he tells me, and makes me think that I'm crazy. So then he tells me that he has to be, and when because him and his ex are just so good and so close, that he spends the time with her, but they're not together anymore. They're just ex. And, so, but he's looking for someone to be with. So I told him that sounds like me and my ex back in the day when we was living around. We hook up we were separated, but we still together. So he didn't like that, obviously. And then he had to take an important phone call. Oh, I got an important phone call.
Right.
I really want to continue.
That important phone call was probably that wife, or that was his opt out to get off that phone because he
asked me if I heard from him.
Right. Yeah.
So he's the fool of the week.
So that's the fool of the week.
I'm gonna call him the fool of the week, but then I got potential.
I don't really have a fool of the week. I guess just
I do.
I didn't really was on there that much this week. I didn't really talk
let me tell
Too
you,
many people.
I will tell you, I didn't tell you, well, we got the clown of the week is Mr. Over the Top that lives all the way in Antioch, California, although my profile says I live in Florida. And he done liked all 17 photos and sent me about 17 flirts and whatever. So, and he look over the top. Really, 73
He
years old.
looks over the
Yeah, I
top.
told you. And then I tell you, these old ass motherfuckers be wanting me.
Okay.
My age, my 63-year-old don't be wanting me, but these 73 in Antioch, California. No. But you know, I do got one of them though, and I'm telling you about this guy. He sends me a message, and his picture was blurry. And I'm telling you, men, fix your
Your picture.
fix them pictures. And I told he was like, hello, beautiful African queen. I said, you know, I said thank you. Now, whenever they say I'm beautiful, I always say thank you. How are you? And how's be? And I said, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And he says it's interesting. I said, you know, I could be interested, but your picture is not clear. You know what he said? I will upload a better picture. I said, okay. And he sent me a message, uploaded, and so he's got potential. So he uploaded a better picture. He looks normal. We might continue this conversation.
So that's cool. And me, I don't really have anybody this week. I mean, that I've talked to other than this one that I'm saying that could.
Oh, what about no? I want to hear about the whole catfish situation because I just don't.
So this guy right here, his name I won't say, but his also right, but that same name has sent me messages on a different dating profile before with different pictures with the same type of messages and stuff. So it makes me think, but just based off what he says, that this person could know me and just don't want to come clean about himself. But this is because this type of things has happened to me multiple times over the years, but that's probably because my ass, like we said earlier, I talk to everybody.
Anybody, that's the thing. And I done told you about
this
that.
thing here just
we will not go over your history of just talking to anybody.
And so that's how some of these folks get my things and know what's going on. But this one, he just like, he's super sweet and he's everything that you want. Everything.
How do you know he would just talking on the text if he's everything you want?
Because he says everything that I want. Like he literally tells me the man that he's out there and he's around the corner basically saying these things. And I'm like, I told him, I said, you know what, you just stay sweet, my friend, because he's saying all the sweet things that you want to hear, but you know that he's just BSing you. And I know, like he is the catfish.
And see, that's the thing, but then that's the other thing that you do differently than I do. I talk on the site this little bit of time. I'm one of them. Let's get off the site, get on it, let's talk, let's have conversation.
Well, those are the ones that I am interested in. If I'm interested in totally dating this person, I want off the site and I want your phone number and I'll exchange mine with you.
But how do you
know that? It's not easy getting my phone number. Anybody knows me knows that's the hardest thing to get because I got to make sure that I'm even interested.
You can block anybody that gets your phone number. I don't care about that.
No, because Carm, that's incorrect. Because why I say that's incorrect, because look, there's this one guy my family knows all about, and we dealt with him for some years. Every time I deleted or blocked him, he came back with a new phone number.
Well, that's the thing.
So I don't want you to have my phone number unless I know you and I are gonna chat. You know, we're gonna go out.
That's what I'm saying. Now I'm saying that, but I'm not saying, yeah, I'll do that. Now I gotta know that we're gonna chat, but I don't chat a lot on text. On the thing. Once I realize that we have if we're having a conversation, I take that conversation immediately offline.
Oh yeah, but this is just somebody that I know I ain't never gonna meet or nothing. If I never know I'm never gonna meet you, I'll chat with you online. That's my problem. And I'm just gonna have to, that is something I'm going to learn to break away from.
You ain't potential, then we ain't got nothing else to say.
Look, Miss Thing,
I'm
making friends. I don't need just boyfriends. I want friends.
See, I don't want any friends. I got too many friends. I cannot keep up with the friends I have, so I don't.
Well, me too. I got a ton,
I don't want a male friend. I mean, I got plenty of male friends at work. I mean, if I need a male friend.
Until I'm in a relationship or I'm dating someone that I'm really, really interested in, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna talk to you.
I don't know. See, there you go.
That's
I'm
just
not.
me.
That's my
Until
problem, though.
I know I'm interested in someone.
See,
I
we
don't
maybe
think-
need, wait a minute, you over here talking to any and everybody. I'm over here, I ain't talking to nobody. We maybe need to come in a minute. I need to talk to more. You need to talk to less. Maybe we'll
Right,
get
maybe
there.
we need to make it come, yeah, that's our problem. We need to, yeah, and that may
That's
be.
no problem. We fine.
Wait a minute,
We
Carm,
have no problem. We are fine as we are.
wait a minute, here's the
And so
thing.
are you.
But wait a minute, here's the thing. You don't talk enough, I talk too much, and like you said, maybe we need to meet in the middle, and that might be where we find our
Yeah,
mate.
I love. So,
We're
well,
gonna find out.
I know. Next week we're going to talk about doing this self-work and looking at ourselves. So, think about it yourself. We encourage you to make comments, like our page, subscribe to our playlist, and follow us as we go on this journey of singlehood, living single with Carm and Tasha.
Soon
But
on
again,
Facebook too.
we thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great week. See you next week when we talk about self-work.
Yep.
And what it takes to be a single woman in these streets. Bye,
Love, peace, and harmony
Tasha.
always. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Yep. Another time.
Bye.